Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Good Wednesday afternoon and a good look at our skyline, bringing back the sun, warming things up. Doesn't last too long.
More than 3 months after it first formed, we are learning what the next steps are being taken to repair that Fraser sinkhole. But first, a body is found bound and burned in a Detroit driveway. Thanks so much for joining us this noon. The body was discovered after firefighters responded to a house fire on Detroit's east side. Investigators say that the body was found face down and badly burned in a driveway on Alma Avenue, just south of 7 Mile Road. That's where we find Nick Monticelli this morning, joining us now live. Nick, what more have you learned about what could have happened here?
Rhonda, good afternoon. The house fire you're talking about was pretty bad. In fact, if you look at the side of the home, we look up and to the side, you see that it was an extensive fire. But as firefighters were battling that, as you mentioned, they found that body right here along the side of the home. Yes, face down, but bound. The hands were bound, tied together, as well as the feet.
The neighborhood terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm about to move anyway.
Unfortunately, Nathaniel Temple is not at all surprised by what happened here last night. But he also may have seen something that could help. A strange man at a strange time.
I saw a guy coming down there, and he parked his truck right there.
And just sat there?
No, he was coming down there. I guess he did something down there. I don't know what he did.
Detroit homicide and arson detectives are working on this case after a body was found after a fire. The body was burned so badly they cannot even tell if it's a male or female, but they do know he or she was bound at the hands and feet. The fire department originally came here because the house was on fire. Then they realized there was a body on the side of the home burning as well. Detectives are just beginning their investigation. They don't even know yet if this is where the victim was killed.
We don't know if this is the original crime scene or this is just the location they decided to bring the victim after everything was finished.
One of their problems, though, is lack of witnesses. Every single home on this block is vacant, with the exception of one. So investigators are hoping someone elsewhere saw something that could help.
Even if you don't think it's, is connected to this crime, please let us know, because that tip may help get us where we need to be.
So now the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office has the victim in this case. Hopefully they'll be able to determine who they are, obviously the sex, more about their age, and also, as horrific as it sounds, if they passed away before or after the fire, Rhonda, because they'll be able to tell if they were breathing in any kind of smoke or if they passed out before that happened.
Oh, just so disturbing to think that anybody could do something like this to the person if this is indeed what happened here. What about any evidence? Have police been able to find anything that could help them?
You know, I'm not sure the answer of that, but I can tell you that the evidence technicians and the arson team spent their entire morning out here. They didn't leave here until about 10:30 this morning, which meant they were here for over 5 hours. In fact, they even pumped out the basement down here. They brought in pumps from the fire department because there was so much water. They wanted to go through here to see if there was any evidence. I know you can't see because of the camera lighting, but this is still about halfway filled with water. They wanted to see if there was anything inside of that home. So they are digging hard to try to find something to figure out whoever did this.
Oh, just awful. All right, Nick, thank you. The woman captured on video fighting another woman over a parking space is now facing charges. The fight ended with a 30-year-old woman stabbed and taken to the hospital. The 21-year-old woman, who was charged with assault with intent to murder, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, and felonious assault, was arraigned this morning. The stabbing victim is currently in stable condition. The family of a 3-year-old girl killed in a school gymnasium has now filed a lawsuit against that school. Liliana Kerr was crushed when a table fell on top of her at the Head Start program at St. Albert's Church in Dearborn Heights. Police called it a freak accident, and her death was ruled an accident. A $10 million lawsuit has now been filed against the school, the Archdiocese of Detroit, and the Head Start program. We have breaking news out of Moscow, where U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. It's the first visit to Russia by a member of the President Trump's cabinet. Tillerson and Putin's meeting comes amid accusations and widening diplomatic rift between the U.S. and Russia over the chemical attack in Syria. We are going to continue to monitor this story for more details about what's unfolding in that meeting. So look for later newscasts for a full report, and we'll have that for you from Moscow. In the meantime, let's talk to Brandon. We had a chilly start to the morning, a little more cloud cover than you wanted, Brandon, but how are we looking for the game this afternoon?
Starting to finally break through the clouds over the area, and that's going to make a big difference with temperatures. A little bit of a west-northwest wind here at 10, so 52 degrees. First time we've been into the 50s today at the lunch hour here, and we expect to be near 60 degrees, seeing more and more of that sun. We're just now breaking through. 2 o'clock, we're into the partly cloudy phase, 56 degrees, and 4 o'clock, we're around 60 degrees with mostly sunshine. It's a 1:10 first pitch with the Twins and Tigers battling for exclusive rights to first place in the AL Central. Here's the clouds and radar, and nothing on radar, but the cloud cover, you can just see it really starting to thin out. It's taking a little bit longer here in parts of eastern Wayne County, downtown, and also up into Oakland, Macomb counties, the Thumb region, probably hanging on to clouds a little bit longer, but have no fear, the sun is coming. As we mentioned, it will not last too long. Details about Thursday rain chances and your Easter weekend forecast still ahead.
All right, a lot of people looking forward to hearing that Easter holiday weekend forecast too, Brandon. We'll see you in a few. Fraser is still reeling from that sinkhole, but Macomb County Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller says that repairs are happening at lightning speed. Miller held a news conference this morning and announced that digging has started at the site and said that steps will be taken to eliminate the odor, but the project is estimated to cost around $100 million.
We're rolling. And I would just say that, how quickly this is happening. I know if you live here, you might not think that, but if you think of a project this size to actually, well, it only happened 3.5 months ago, and during that time we've designed this, we have did it, the excavation has started, some of these houses have already been demolished, the bypass has been completed, the bulkhead is in, and that is happening really in lightning speed.
Miller said that they hope that the project will be complete in 4 months. For the second straight day, a restaurant has been broken into in the Courttown area. Overnight, a window was smashed at the Huron Room right there on Bagley Avenue. It's still unclear if anything was taken, but this does come 1 day after thieves targeted the Johnny Noodle King in Courttown, and that was along with Slo's Barbecue. Also in southwest Detroit, someone tried stealing an ATM overnight using a backhoe. It happened at the Comerica Bank on Michigan Avenue near Central. Investigators believe that the backhoe may have been stolen from a fast food restaurant a few miles away from the bank. The thief, though, was not able to get away with that ATM. Detroit Pace Better Made Potato Chips has decided that it's time for a new sign. Their old sign was finally replaced today after guess how many years? 70 years. You can see the new sign if you drive by the location right there on Gratiot Avenue, their facility on Detroit's east side. Amid growing calls for him to step down, Sean Spicer has apologized. What the press secretary is now saying about his claims that Adolf Hitler did not use chemical weapons. Video shows a police officer slamming a man to the ground, and it may be all over a case of jaywalking. We'll take a closer look at that video. But first, Russia lashes out at the Trump administration ahead of a key meeting with the Secretary of State in Moscow. That's next.
We've won over.
Welcome back. Russia is lashing out at the Trump administration today over the Syrian conflict. The criticism came ahead of Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and his meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Andrea Mischel reports from Moscow.
A tense meeting today between the Secretary of State and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov. Their chief disagreement over Syria, the chemical attack that left dozens dead, and the U.S. missile strike against the Syrian airbase. Lavrov saying Apart from words, we also saw some very troubling actions regarding the attack on Syria. Lavrov also complaining about the strike, saying he hopes it doesn't happen again, even pointing out that the Russians have no one to talk to at the State Department because the new administration is so far behind on appointing people. Tillerson promising frank talks to narrow their differences.
Further clarify areas of sharp difference so that we can better understand why these differences exist.
President Trump justifying his decision to retaliate with military force by the horror of the chemical attack. But Russia's President Vladimir Putin firing back on Russian television saying, "Where's the proof of Syrian forces using chemical weapons? There is none." A tense standoff chiefly over Syria, but also Ukraine, and the Russian hacking to interfere with the U.S. election. Tillerson on his first trip here as a diplomat, a far cry from when he was honored here with a Friendship Medal by Putin, when Tillerson was doing big oil deals as the CEO of ExxonMobil.
That was Andrea Mitchell reporting. A Sacramento police officer off the streets today after this video shows him beating and arresting a jaywalking suspect. Video of the violent arrest on Monday night quickly went viral. Nandy Kane Jr. was the man in this video. After spending a night in jail and a morning in the hospital, he says the confrontation was all over jaywalking.
He said, "Take your hands out of your pocket," and he said, "Drop your weapon." So I took off my jacket to let him know I don't have anything. I'm not going to give this man any reason to kill me, basically, to gun me down. I thought I was going to be the next Trayvon Martin, to be honest. I thought I was done.
Kane was originally stopped for jaywalking. He took his jacket off. The Sacramento Police Department said by removing his jacket, the officer felt that Kane, quote, was posturing for a fight. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer has apologized for the second straight day for comments about chemical weapons and Nazi Germany.
I made a mistake. There's no other way. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I got into a topic that I shouldn't have, and I screwed up. It really is painful to myself to know that I did something like that, because that obviously was not my intention. And to know when you screw up that you possibly offended a lot of people.
The Anne Frank Center is one of those people, one of the many groups calling for President Trump to fire Spicer. So far, the president has not commented.
New at noon.
A major tabloid newspaper apologizing to First Lady Melania Trump today. What else they agreed to do to settle a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Brandon?
Low 50s across Metro Detroit right now. The clouds are a little thicker up north. They're in the 40s, but you can see where the sun is shining. Temperatures are starting to warm up. We are also tracking some showers to our west. We'll do it all and look into that Easter weekend.
A local human trafficking victim comes forward.
He beat me. He had me in hotel rooms by myself for weeks. Go hungry because I wouldn't obey what he wanted me to do.
Women and children fighting to stay alive.
A girl might be victimized, say, in Southfield for 2 weeks. Then that exploiter or pimp might move them to Madison Heights for a couple weeks. And then maybe over to Grand Rapids for a couple weeks.
The defenders exposing what's really going on in Metro Detroit. The dark secret exposed tonight at 11. Visit Suburban.
Time now to check back in with Brandon and talk about the rest of the day today, but also that look ahead to the holiday weekend. Easter egg hunt.
Questionable. I know. But maybe you can hold off until like 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah. We can do it midday. We can hold off till noon if we have to.
Well, then you might not have the muddy Easter Sunday shoes if you hold out a little longer. If you go out at 9, it might be dry, but you're squish-squashing around in the mud a little bit. Saturday looks like the wetter of the weekend days, but we're not giving it all away right here, right now. You do see some blue sky coming through finally. Just took a little while. We had what's called an inversion today, which means we have trapped the cooler air and the clouds here at the surface. Air was warmer above and everything just sort of flip-flopped, and that kept those clouds trapped. Well, we're now shaking loose of that. 52 degrees, a west-northwest wind at 10. On our way to 60 degrees. We'll see those temperatures start to take off with the sunshine. Downtown with the Tigers game, maybe a little bit cooler than that, but still with enough sunshine, you can certainly burn in a couple of hours out there at Comerica Park, but it's a 1:10 first pitch against the Twinkies, the Twins. The sun doesn't last too long. We have more clouds coming in after midnight tonight. Still a cool but dry night ahead heading into your Thursday. We do have a slight rain chance, although it's a pretty weak one. Notice the clouds right now still lingering up in the thumb region, and they just wouldn't shake loose across most of Metro Detroit until about 10, 11 o'clock. And now we're starting to see more and more of that thinning. Big area of high pressure out there, which is keeping our weather very stable. The air flows clockwise around the area of high pressure, which is why we have these west-northwest winds. It's also steering some of this moisture coming out of the Rockies a little bit farther to our north, and high pressure usually means dry conditions. And here's a look at the sunshine through the afternoon today as we head into tomorrow. Again, dry air in place. We're battling off these showers as they come in here. But tomorrow morning when you're watching Local 4 News today, we'll be tracking that rain and watching it mostly fizzle out crossing over Lake Michigan. You can see here with the models our best chance through the middle part of the day around lunchtime along and north of M59. A few very light showers. That's about it. Friday, Good Friday, we'll get back into some sunshine and get back into the 60s. So cloudy and middle 50s tomorrow. Good Friday, most of the day is sunshine mixed with some clouds, but the high clouds increase Friday night. And we do have scattered showers on Saturday, ending Sunday morning. The good news is it's warm and a little windy on the weekend. We could have some temps, Rhonda, on Saturday near 80.
Wow, wouldn't that be nice? Thank you, Brandon. We do want to get to breaking news right now out of Sterling Heights. That is where the courthouse and Stevenson High School have been evacuated after a man showed up in the parking lot next to the police station with some sort of military ammunition. You're looking at live pictures from Sky 4. We're told that he brought it there because he wasn't sure what to do with it. The MSP bomb squad is on their way to that location, so we'll continue to bring you updates as soon as we get any new information. Meantime, Britain's Daily Mail has settled 2 lawsuits with First Lady Melania Trump. It all began after the Mail published an article about her last August. It suggested that a modeling agency that Mrs. Trump worked for in the 90s was also an escort service and that she provided services beyond modeling. The Daily Mail says that the accusations are not true. A source familiar with the settlement says Melania Trump will be paid nearly $3 million. The newspaper also apologized to Mrs. Trump for any distress the article may have caused her. Still ahead, a family is reunited with their stolen dog. Up next, the 1,400-mile adventure that this little dog went on before an animal rescue group found him.
Replay song.
All right, get a load of this. 5 months and 1,400 miles later, a New Mexico family is happy to be reunited with their stolen dog.
Amazing. In November, Pumpkin was playing in their backyard when she vanished. The owners were convinced that they would never see Pumpkin again, but they got a phone call from a rescue group in Atlanta.
Yes, with the help of a microchip, a local dog rescue tracked down Pumpkin's owner and flew him back to Albuquerque for free. Where he was for those 5 months, nobody knows, but pretty happy family, because after 5 months, you don't think you're going to see your dog again.
Imagine the adventures this thing was on.
Yeah, the
There's
stories it will tell
about this.
Go Tigers, everybody. Have a good day.